Buy your bulbous buttercup at tnnursery.net, better known as Ranunculus Bulbosus. The bulbous buttercup is a native perennial with an annually renewed swollen corm-like stem base from which arise one or more aerial shoots. It is found in dry grassland and on grassy slopes. It is primarily a lowland buttercup and is found on the ridges in ridge and furrow pastures. It is common throughout England and Wales, but is less frequent in Scotland. Seedlings fail to establish in very wet conditions, and this may restrict distribution in Scotland. It is often abundant on well-drained or even thin soils due to the ability to survive summer drought. In loose soils, such as on dunes, bulbous buttercup can adjust its depths by up to 10 centimeters if covered with blown sand. Buttercups are serious weeds of old pastures and hay meadows. Bulbous buttercup is characteristic of lightly grazed pasture. A number of varieties have been described. The petals are usually yellow, but white flowered forms occur. Bulbous buttercup is the most toxic of the buttercups due to a high proteinammonium content. The foliage is harmful if eaten fresh, but is not poisonous when dried in hay. Cattle and horses usually avoid the plant, but poisoning can occur with new stock that has not come across it before. The seeds and bulbs of bulbous buttercup form a major part of the diet of partridge. The first flowers are seen in March, but peak flowering is normally from mid-May to June. Flowering is not linked to day length. Each flower head contains 20 to 30 seeds. The mean number of seeds per plant is around 70. Often seed will have ripened and shed by early July. Fresh seed is normally dormant and requires a period of after ripening to achieve maximum germination. Seeds emerge from July to October, but most do so in the autumn. The optimum depth of emergence in sandy soil is 16 millimeters. Adequate but not excessive soil moisture is important for germination and early seedling growth. After seed has set in July, bulbous buttercup dies down, leaving a bare patch in the grass. It passes the summer as a corm that may remain dormant from July to September. The corms are buried 10 to 30 millimeters down in the soil and are 10 to 30 millimeters in diameter at the time of flowering. The corm is densely packed with starch plus around 1% of glycoside ranunculin. Corms do not need a period of cold to break dormancy, only adequate moisture and favorable temperatures. Growth may begin again as early as August, depending on rainfall levels. Sometimes this may lead to a brief second flush of flowers for some new shoots. By September, the lateral bud of a corm that has flowered or the terminal bud of a corm that has not flowered becomes active and grows out from the old corm. If the old corm has become buried by loose soil, the new shoot can extend itself up to the surface. Leaves develop, a small rosette is formed. The vertical corm-like stalk overwinters and the rosette produces new leaves in March. The main foliage leaves form a basal rosette that is susceptible to shading. The leaves curl down to make a circular depression in the grass that excludes the development of other plants. A new corm forms development at the base of the shoot. The old corm transfers food reserves to the new corm in February and March and then dies. It is impossible to determine the age of a plant because the whole plant is renewed annually. The abundance of the bulbous buttercup in pasture depends on the management system. Bulbous buttercup becomes established where overgrazing has occurred, or bare patches develop due to urine burn or dung heaps, and where fresh soil is exposed due to mole activity. The plant prefers sunny areas and cannot tolerate early competition from taller plants. Bulbous buttercups seldom persist in grass that is allowed to grow long enough to cut hay for silage. It may be eliminated from pasture if 2 to 3 hay crops are taken unless the plant has died down naturally before competition becomes severe. Bulbous buttercups fails to survive when impeded drainage or other factors increase soil water levels, while good drainage encourages the plant. Bulbous buttercup may disappear if irrigation is applied regularly. It is intolerant of trampling and is usually absent from footpaths that traverse grassland. Buy bulbous buttercups at tnnursery.net.